This morning, making sense of vote 2022.
The votes are in, but there are still questions about who controls the balance of power in Washington. Joining us now is Asher Hildebrand, Associate Professor at Duke University. He served on campaigns and was formerly Chief of Staff to Congressman David Price. Professor, we appreciate you joining us. First, what are your takeaways from the midterm elections?
Well, as you acknowledged, there's a lot we don't know about. 5 Senate races and a few dozen House races have yet to be called, and control of both chambers of Congress hangs in the balance. But the fact that we're saying that the morning after an election that was predicted to be a massive Republican rout tells you everything you need to know, which is that the red wave many analysts confidently talked about never materialized. And in fact, we're looking at what was arguably one of the best performances for the incumbent party in any midterm election in our history. Looks like at this point, Democrats will probably hold on to the United States Senate. Will probably not hold on to the House, but that's still hanging in the balance. And in key races around the country, including the Senate race in Pennsylvania and elsewhere, you saw Democratic candidates who looked like they were in a lot of trouble pull through in the end. Now, that said, there are many places where Republicans did not need a wave. They only needed a ripple. And that includes here in North Carolina, where voters sent elected Republican majority to the state Supreme Court, as well as Republican courts of appeals justices, judges, and put Republicans within just one seat of a supermajority in the U.S. House, although fell short of that goal. It's not all doom and gloom for Democrats, however. Wiley Nickel in the 13th District south of Raleigh won a hotly contested race, which was seen as a national bellwether, defeating Republican Bo Hines. So all in all, a pretty good night for Democrats, although kind of looks like a draw overall on paper.
You talked about the several key races in North Carolina, and a clear winner was declared, but in other states it's still up in the air. Are you seeing any evidence of election deniers in those states where results are not so clear?
One of the real positive stories this morning is that I think it was also a good night for democracy. The election went off largely without a hitch, a few isolated incidents here and there, but for the most part, it went smoothly. And in several key states and races, for example, the race for governor in Michigan, the race for governor in Arizona, it looks like, the Senate races in New Hampshire and other places, you had prominent election deniers who were defeated. Now, to the question of whether candidates might contest the results of this election, the main place that's come up is in Arizona, where the Republican candidate for governor, Kari Lake, has made some allegations about irregularities in Maricopa County, where Phoenix is. The Maricopa County has more or less dismissed them, but that's still playing out. And Arizona is one of the key states where the votes are still being counted and where it's not yet clear who will emerge as the victor in the governor's race as well as the Senate race out there.
All right, Professor Asher Hildebrand from Duke, thank you once more for joining us. Appreciate it.